John here. Just giving Joseph Duggarville a ring. He's up in Kaitaia. Kia ora, Joseph, it's John Whenua here.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
How are you, bud?
Oh, busy?
Busy, eh?
Yeah. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to make copies and bring them up,
Yeah.
and then you can have your copy.
Yeah, I'll see you at Waitami.
Yeah, that'll be better.
Better.
I'll be there on 2nd.
Okay, I'll see you up there, fella.
Okay then.
Been busy, like everything has been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You fellas been having some more meetings too?
Yeah. We've been having some meetings. We just had what's called a reunion, and one of my nephews passed on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, I've got to get that sorted out.
Right.
Yeah, I'll get you up there, John.
Okay then.
Well done, bro.
Alright.
Alright.
There, I'm glad I got him. So now, he was the only one on our native court that didn't have an email. The other ones have got email that they've got the information now, but I'm going to put the rest of the documents together tomorrow, and there's quite a few of them. Apart from the main documents, there'll be just the 5 pages for the writ warrant of execution, or it reads a writ warrant, it reads a writ of execution, possession and demolition order. That's what they did in Philippines. They used the Admiralty to seize all the lands back off the local government back into the federal government. Okay, so that's how they got the gold all off the land. They took the whole land title, and so this is what happens here in reverse. The reason what I'm saying here is that we have to put a native court together to go back to its original title in Russell, Kororareka, and reopen that court in Whenua on Titi Marae, then undo that title right there, and that'll take care of all the titles in this country from the one British title, because of the fraud that's been committed and covered up by the police, by the judges, by the Navy itself, and by the government Crown agents themselves, and their bank outfit is turning sour now. I see that Nicola Sturgeon, First Prime Minister of Scotland, is saying that they have a new currency to replace the pound note. You see, the pound note is going out, and this one's coming in, because we're staying British. To all you people in Britain and America, we're putting this pound note and this flag and this St. Patrick's Order, which is our contract, by the way, and no one can come in as a third party, because you'll get a pound note on your head, and we are allowed to do that in the absence of the King, until we put Ernest Augustus V in as King, and his son is 32. King Ernest Augustus is 62 years old, so King William IV was 65 when he became king. So as long as he's in there, his son can succeed to him, but that's our oath of office for our reforming our whakamininga flag here, and that original title. It will supersede all other Admiralty titles in the world, because of the King William III created the Bank of England Act, the Bank of England itself, the pound note itself, and that's our authority to use it on anyone as in contract. Okay, it's a private, nobody's business. I just let you people know in the Confederation of Chiefs that no one can inquire into what we do with these Admiralty title papers. You have your own type of papers with the Maori government, has its own authority. It has to get its money from somewhere, so it'll borrow it from somewhere, but can't use this title to borrow money against. You'll have to borrow money against something else, not the land. You cannot borrow money against the original British title that got everybody on the land here and in the world. That's just a little bit. I'm letting you know that I'm collating Cook Street documents to go, because it's got all the acts in that have been broken, and it has got named offenders. John Key is named in that court case. The police are named in that court case that lost the case to me and had no court case for me, because they dropped me out and let everyone of those marshals off. It so happens that these documents I put together has annulled their evidence of any sort against this evidence. It's stacking up. So we're taking that precedent case into the Titi Marae Popo, or Po Whenua. That's the courthouse is in the open on the ground, not in that marae, because that's Henry Williams, the Pākea's marae, and that's his memorial inside, you see. So we've got our marae in the paddock by the popos, or the memorials. Those are the native titles. Any of those wooden structures of our tupunas or our ancestors, titles to the land, when you see those, the same as Indians and Africans, they have their own, and we have Moai memorial as a title as well in Dunedin and Auckland here, as the mana whenua to the whole world. That's the Maui one. I've been putting a few things on Facebook today with the Flat Earth Society, with the Round Earth, that I've put there in our title with the 3 points on the earth. 6 o'clock, 6 p.m, 6 a.m, 6 a.m. at the East Coast on our land blocks at Te Pito, and 6 p.m. at Ghana, Accra, the Kingdom of Ghana, 6 p.m. there, and midday on Easter Island, Rapa Nui. Okay, so that's our title of the Moai right over the world, and the King William III and King William IV title on top of it, to form our own unique title. Okay, so I won't be long with these documents. I've been sorting them out. It's sort of left them for a bit late, but I've got the proclamation form. I've put 3 pages out with the proclamation there, and the one underneath that, the next one underneath that, is a writ of execution, repossession of land seizure. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to read out what I've put on I'll read out what I've put so far. So, in the name of His Majesty King William III and King William IV, King of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland, and their living blood inheritance successors in 2017, King Ernest Augustus V, 62, heir to the throne, King of Britain, UK, Hanover, Aotea, New Zealand, New World Order. And his son, living in Hanover and Switzerland, Prince Regent Ernest Augustus, 32, heir to the throne, sworn an oath of office by me, Hoani Kahaki Wano, Sheriff Bank Creditor, and surrogate King William III for St. Patrick's Church, King's Land Rent Order. Should have been Chiefs. rent chiefs. Put rent chiefs. Chiefs. So we're collecting the rent, okay, for the lands, for the king's lands. Surrogate King William IV, Moai Crown Customary Native Land Commissioner. That's my position. Sworn the 2nd day of February in the year of our Atua, Lord God, 2017 at Te Marae Po Whenua, Moai King William IV Federal State Commonwealth Government of the World, New World Order, St. Patrick's Order 8-point star flag of 2017. We, the hereditary chiefs, are gathered here today in Congress assembled to bring together the native chiefs' living documents from Okiato Native Court in Kororareka, Russell, to Te Ti Taurangatira Po Whenua Ancestral Memorial Native Land Titles holders, Hapu Whānau Rangatira Open Ground Te Ti Marae Native Land Court. The chiefs acknowledge that the court judge and sheriff shall conduct a grand jury hearing on the 2nd day of February 2017 in the presence of a live audience to bear witness to legally establish a mandated native chief commercial landownership title from the British Navy Captain James Reedy Clendon. British land title is seized of its title under King William IV Surrogate King John Kakiwano, that's me, transferred back into the Chiefs Te Ti Marae Grand Jury Native Court Land Ownership flag of Admiralty Court Martial Law of Authority and Jurisdiction today. The hereditary chiefs held many hui in the Hapu districts of New Zealand to now congregate this historic land seizure event that, as a consequence of the resigned Prime Minister John Key hasty exit, did not comply to our repeated demands to refute our land title claims, that the Hapu chiefs took the legitimate authority to terminate the New Zealand government's land occupation lease titles back into the British land title deeds transfer in legal process by defaulted private contract of Admiralty Court Martial Law jurisdiction of the Hapu chiefs flag legalised Friday the 15th of April 2016 in Waitangi Marae King's Bench Native Grand Jury Court hearing Chief Kingi Taurua. Now I've got a bit more gap to fill. That'll finish that off in that process that we're swearing to each other to open the court and seize the land. Okay, so this is a seizure warrant. I'm just going to put the seizure bit inside there, and all the other documents will follow it, other seizure warrants that I'm going to hand over to Paula Bennett and to the Governor-General, Honourable Patsy Reedy, right? And so they'll be notified, they'll be given the £1 billion trillion pound note for New Zealand. That goes to Paula Bennett for Bill English and John Key, because he caused the fraud. We've got our criminal suspect, John Key, bank fraud, and also Panama Papers, and the $13 million that went to the Clinton Foundation has been fraudulent transaction and against our national security and against our investment interests of the chiefs and of the citizens of New Zealand. Okay, so they put us at risk of threats against us and threats with ISIS and the cabal and also the TPPA, all the threats against our own interests in land. Okay, we've got enough videos to take to court if we need be. So no one's going to win against this flag and this authority of King William III and King William IV, the creators of the Bank of England and the pound note. That's why we're using the pound note as levy debtor instrument against every offender in the world. At the bottom here I've got signed by His Excellency Surrogate King Moai Crown Secretary of State Jamie Anna Marie Patrick. St. Patrick's order she signs, and myself as Surrogate King, and also Kingi Taurua. Whanitahaki Whenua Moai Native Land Commissioner Sheriff of Waitangi Marae Court extended to all district courts. So this authority will go into all district courts in New Zealand for a start, and then to the world, to force the Admiralty law on other interests. And then under that we've got Kingi signs it electronically. He signs all these documents because he is the commercial land owner. Okay, we are dealing in Admiralty court-martial law here, and not what the Maori government does or what the incorporations does in the New South Wales part of the flag. They cannot use this flag for Admiralty reasons because this is private. You cannot go into it now because it's fixed. It will be fixed on that marae, and that's where it stays. That's the land that it goes on. Now, to end that document that comes after the proclamation, Te Ti Marae Hapu. Separate that. Printed by Moai Crown King William IV Trust and Moai King William IV Party, New Zealand Pacific Property Rights to His Majesty King William IV, 1830-1837 Acts of Westminster Parliament enforced into law on the 15th of the 4th, 2016. In a legal binding contract with Moai Hapu chiefs, whose native land titles today cease back into the custody of the Moai Crown, New Zealand Pacific Royal King William III and King William IV Federal State UK New Zealand dual governments on Waitangi Marae to London, Britain, British Navy in Devon Port, UK, in an existing private contract partnership business with Chief Hongi Hika and Chief Waikato in 1830. Then Chief Pomare II sold Kororareka land in 1830, and again on the 20th of March 1834 to Captain James Reilly Clendon and HMS Alligator Captain George Lambert fired a 21-gun salute to authenticate our 1834 Whakamininga Declaration of War flag as the New Zealand flag title there. So that's what I'm saying here is this. When we declare this and proclaim these statements in front of each other on that land where the native title is, in the paddock of Te Ti Marae, we take that authority and we hand it to the police. So that's Kingi's job and his marshals. I'm a sheriff. I only need one sheriff in the court. And so the marshals or whoever is going to be looking after the lands under that hapu, because the hapu takes over. Okay, to the hapus, the hapu takes over the trustees' lands of the Crown corporations under Queen Elizabeth, because she ain't there. She's gone. And Kingi, however he wishes to seize the land, he'll have these legal documents that allows him to seize Te Ti lands and its marae and its memorial, the 1840 Treaty Waiting Memorial, and do what he wants with it. And also he sees Waitangi Marae and the land and the memorial ship of Admiralty. He'll seize that as well. So, hang on a minute. Right, just went by, spoiled my video. And so he'll seize the land and talk to the police, because the police lost the case. This is the CIB, the Criminal Investigation Bureau, we're holding to account as liable because they tampered with my information, the information I'm putting in front of you on Cook Street. They unlawfully arrested me and jailed me. Now this is going back on them at Waitangi on those land blocks. Kingi can issue this warrant to the police to stand aside, because that's what happened in Auckland District Court. The police stood aside and I won my case because the police had insufficient evidence. Now there's insufficient evidence for police or for the iwi Maori to come up with a title to challenge the Ututanga title of the whole of the Bay of Islands with one house. I've got it here, I'm bringing it with me so that I can show you that that's the only title that the British have given. And Mohi Manukau, the Manukau birth certificate at 1830, and the Manukau Land Company in Scotland, Glasgow, is proof that they were here with a title. The birth certificate is the title, and that deed title of Ututangas before 1840. So you see, no matter what way you go, it's no use standing in the road and stopping the hapu and the chiefs from taking the land back up there, and we're taking Cook Street land back too. So if the bank doesn't comply with these pound notes for the record, then the land underneath them will go too. So they better comply with the wishes of the hapu chiefs, the native chiefs. The same in Dakota. They're writing to me to help them. Well, we've got to help ourselves first and get this one right. So this is how it works, just to let you know the sequence. On the 2nd, we come onto the marae at Titi in the paddock and have our native court hearing in the afternoon. Then I issue Kingi Taurua with his documents. He can carry them around with him and show the police to stand aside while he does his business. He also has the native chiefs in support of him and the whole congregation, which is going to form the grand jury of the public that afternoon. We have a grand jury of us 5 chiefs. That's our grand jury. I shall be the sheriff or the registrar of the court. Manahi Parapara Mohini is the justice of the peace. He's the judge, native court judge, inside the Titi Marae King's Bench Native Court. And then we have Kingi Taurua, chief. He's the commercial landowner under Admiralty law that we're enforcing and forcing that law on anyone who stands in the road. authority. And we have Tupi, Jim Wikotu. He is the spiritual chief for karakias or prayers to the tupunas and to the ancestors in the Matatua waka and also in the wakas up in Waitangi Marae. Ngā toki Matawhaura, the chiefs there, will come under Bundy Whitehigh. He's the head of the grand jury and also the grand jury in the public arena of the assembled chiefs from all over the country. Okay, they've been sufficiently notified of the events and the agenda for the whole of the Waitangi celebration week, from Thursday the 2nd through to the 6th of February, Monday, following Monday, will be full on all the way through. We're making the 2nd official because John Key, Bill English will be at the Copthorne Hotel doing his business, his John Key shady business in there on the 3rd. And so he won't be there on Waitangi Day because there he steps inside that marae and gets a pound note on his head. But he's already got it anyway. I've already emailed Bill English and he has responded, and John Key has responded. John Key has responded. The onus or the debt levy bill is on John Key. And Bill English is a third party accessory to John Key's fraud. I've picked out John Key because he's been in this bank scam fraud with Hillary Clinton and Obama all the way through with the TPPA. They're going to all get the bill. They're going to get the pound notes slammed right on their heads from Britain and the Navy, British Navy. Sir Philip Jones is responsible to us as our legal partner. It's him that's the legal partner, not the government. It's the Navy, the captain on the ship and the chief in charge of the captains on the ship. So in this case, it's Captain James Reddy Clendon is the direct partnership with the first land title sale. When the captain got his ship and said the land belongs to the King of England, which happened to be King William IV. So there you go. I'm saying in sequence that Chief Kingi Taurua has the legal right under this flag, the highest flag in the world of Admiralty, not a Vice Admiral. This is the Admiralty. The partners in the Admiralty has got the same power as the King. In his absence, the beneficiaries of the trust, of the Queen Victoria Trust, comes under this flag of authority. Of where did they get the authority from to trade, to make business throughout the world, to make their wealth? All came out of this flag. Okay, so then now, once more. The panel is Chief Kingi Taurua, commercial landowner, and there's Manahi, Parapara Mohini, judge, native court judge, myself, sheriff, that's the registrar of the court that writes the note out and seizes the money, okay, seizes using the 8-point star of King William III's Borough Council, land rent chiefs, collect the money, okay, of all you people who are occupying the lands. The King's land, not the Queen's land, the King's land. We're seizing all these lands off the Queen. So if you're under the Queen, we're going to seize everything off you if you don't comply. you have an option of staying with the Queen or coming with the King. Okay, we can speak for the King and do what the King says. No one's going to tell us what to say in a King's world. Okay, King is a chief. That's his name, Kingy. King under King Edward. Okay, right. Now we have those chiefs and Tupi, Jim Tupi. He'll raise the flag to the top of the mast on the Waitangi grounds. That's our title. That ship is our title, Mr. Bill English, and the police in this country, and Maury Rapana, the cultural manager on the Waitangi National Trust Committee, the Waitangi Committee, and Paul Tipene, the constable from Kerikeri Police Station. He's in support of this because this is his title that I'm talking about. Rahiri, Ngāti Rahiri. Yeah? He's a Tipene, yeah? Original surname. I don't mind if he comes in as one of the chiefs. Put it that way. He's got the right name to that hapu. Ngāti Kuri on that side. And so, we've got an audience. But the opposition, the New South Wales, doesn't want to come to the marae. Not even brave enough to come into the marae and talk. Bill English has shied off as much as John Key. Won't come there and puts up an excuse that it's not very good to go there. You're more dangerous than us, Bill English and John Key. You're more dangerous to people in this country with all the shoddy business that you're doing behind our back. And we're going to catch you because that's our job. The marshals will be out there looking for brisk business in fraud. Put it that way. Brisk business in fraud. If you can see a fraud, let us know. Because it doesn't take 1 hour to clear a court case. It's that quick. A video says it in no time. Okay, we're using the video as a precedent case from my Cook Street case and 77 Cook Street. We're going to seize that land with these property arrest warrants that I was using to go into the land. Then the police got in the way. They came in as third party. They got £1 trillion on each police in this country. 15,000 of them. They've got £1 trillion on their head each. And the amount of money that Crown took and the Rothschild banks spun over their fiat money over 2,000%. In some cases, over 2,000%. That means a dollar went 2,000%. They made out of you and your birth certificates, right? We got £1 trillion riding on each birth certificate. £1 trillion riding on. Okay, that's a debt instrument. Now, if you look at only 4 billion people in the world, that doesn't even get anywhere near this green pound note. Doesn't even get anywhere near this green pound note. So this is what the Governor-General of New Zealand gets. She gets this to take to the Queen because she can get on a plane, go straight to the Queen and give it to her because that's her bill. That's her bill. We're going to start drawing on it. We're going to start drawing on it. And your bill, Bill English, is £1 billion trillion. That's just for the land. That's just for the portion of land and population as to the rest of the population in the world and its square meters area. Right? You're going to get one of these in a £1 billion trillion note like this. Okay? So, on the second, now, let's see who's trying to, oh, Jamie. I'm just reading up on Ireland. Oh, good. That's Jamie. Just finished this video. Yeah, so that's Jamie, my private secretary. So she's picking up again, and she's got a lot of work to do, but she's got a partner to work with now, Jono, Rolla. She work together, they can work together, and they'll be travelling together through the whole world. So that's just an enlightening for them to get on with each other, because they've got similar aspirations. So anyway, that's them two on the panel, on the native court, them two and 5 of us native chiefs. So on that day, the 2nd, we will establish the transfer of powers from Kororareka onto Titi land, where the Popo is, and then we're transferring the power from there into Titi, into Waitangi Marae, where our title is. The ship, that's our title. That doesn't belong to this government here or the Navy here. Separate again. They are New South Wales government in exile, and not direct. That's our ship. That's our property bill, English. We're coming to get it. We're coming to get it, and that's Kingi Taurua's call. That's his call. I've set up all the legal papers for that. I've set up a government to run this country from Britain, dual, to overarch any other government that cares to match up with you. But I didn't want to sack you. I want you there for looking after your people, because we need debtors. In any case, if the Maori government gets rid of you, which is what they want to do, with Sue Nakora, she knows more about the government than you lot, because she put the 1986 Constitution Act together with Jeffrey Palmer. She knows that government inside out. So beware of her, because she'll be out with her taiaha on Waitangi Day, and she will talk after I talk, or Kingi talks, then she's all yours to deal with Hapu, Confederation, incorporations, and they look after the land, not me. I just look after the pound notes and the levy debtor instruments, okay? So that's what's going to happen. We transfer power from Kororareka, Okiato Native Court, James Busby and James Reddy Clendon. He was the conveyance lawyer and magistrate that had to put the British title together and consolidate the titles that he had already sold land in 1830, but he did not have the authority from Britain yet. So he came in 1829, went back to England and came back in 1830. From there he had already got the Te Waikato Wharaherehere Manukau native title put together there by the Manukau chief of Maungatautari, Cambridge, New Zealand, to Cambridge University in England. And that was when he bought the land from Pomare with that title. And Pomare could not put a native title together. He could not do that. It was already done when the boatload came over of immigrants in 1830. Okay? Clendon had no legal right to buy land. So that's another black mark against him, that I'm investigating that title in Kororareka on Okiato land blocks. And you people there, the Hei-Heis and everybody else, it's fine. Don't worry about a thing. Just carry on normal, because I'll sort the land out and no one's going to be displaced or anything. The only thing that'll change is the administrators. That's all. I'll do my job as the Native Land Commissioner of Lands, the bank creditor, and the surrogate King William III surrogate King William IV and surrogate St. Patrick's Church Order, Borough Council, Land Rent Chief. Okay, so I'm doing those titles for someone to take it away and do it and take my place while I go to England and get rid of Jerry Mataprai Andrews, the ambassador to New Zealand, standing in the road of King Ernest Augustus going into Westminster as the King of Britain, Hanover, UK. Okay, he's already a king. He's already a king. There's no need to invent another king. And no one can be the King of Britain anyway. Only that line. Only his line. Because they hold the title down that bloodline. And there's going to be no king or queen of England, because it's either UK or EU Parliament. Okay, that's it. That's it. So one more time. The title under the Po Whenua, Tauranga Tera. The Rangatiras are sitting in the paddock at Te Ti Marae in the paddock. That's the marae in the paddock with the old people. They'll all sit on the ground, and we're in a tent with our table and our 7 administrators of the Admiralty Court. There's an Admiralty Court. That's where the money in the bank is. And then we'll swear to each other that the title comes back to the Hapus. Right there. Okay, you got that? And then the chief can do what he likes with these legal papers after that. And on the 6th we take that title into Waitangi Marae and put the flag up. It goes up to stay up, because it is the title to the whole world of Admiralty that we seize back with this writ of execution warrants. Okay, I'm putting all the documents. We can write in our own fashion. We can make videos in our own fashion. No one's going to tell us what to do, because Admiralty is private. It is private contracts. Nobody's business. But ours, the native chiefs, and the King of England. Okay, so I'm talking for the King of England to the chiefs right here. And our executive administrators in England. Okay, they're sitting there waiting for us. Okay, thank you very much. We'll see you later. I'll go and speak to Jamie now. Bye for now. Have a nice night.